Welcome back to my channel. Happy January. I hope that you had an amazing start of your year. I'm doing my January favorites because I've been trying to do it every single month, and I did a lot in January, so I figured why not recap and kind of talk about things that I liked, things I did, and share it with you. So I'm actually just kind of jet lagged right now. I got back from Hawaii and I've been like so out of the time zone because they're 5 hours behind from EST, and I was just that kind of switch and a whole day of travel really messed me up. I've never been on so many flights consecutively and gone through so many time zones in a short period of time. So yeah, that was a lot, but the trip to Hawaii was incredible. I cannot say more than enough like amazing things about Hawaii. It was beautiful. It was paradise. A lot of my favorites kind of tie into that. First, I actually kind of want to start off with food because going to Hawaii, seafood is a huge thing. Fresh fruit is a huge thing. I was in Kauai, which is one of the furthest islands in the state of Hawaii, and the fresh fish there was amazing. We cooked meals a lot while we were there over the course of the 2 weeks, and I got to try marlin, I got to cook sea bass, and all this like amazing fish that I had never had before, swordfish, just all these different things, and I really liked it. And then also local fruits that are native to Hawaii I'd never had before. I have a new favorite fruit, and that is rambutan, and it's very interesting looking. I'm gonna insert a picture. Really cool. I got to try taro, I got to try breadfruit, and all of these different like local fruits that you just don't see in grocery stores on the East Coast, which was really cool. I again really miss Hawaii. That was like my favorite thing. Probably the best vacation trip I'd ever been on in my life. It's an amazing place, 5,000 miles away from Virginia, but definitely worth the venture out there, and I definitely want to come back. I want to see more of the Hawaiian Islands and maybe see Kauai again. It was a beautiful place. I actually got this necklace there. It is a macaw I think is how you say it, and it's just like a fish hook. If you've seen Moana, it's essentially tied to that whole kind of mythology belief of tying man to the sea, and it's a symbol of strength and unity and things like that. Going on with that, on the trip to Hawaii, there were a few things that I had that really were lifesavers, essentially. We did a lot of hiking, so I had boots. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way. I had boots that were too small for me, and that was a big issue. I bruised one of my toes really bad, and probably gonna lose my right toenail because of that. So make sure your boots fit you. But I also had Tevas, and they're just like strappy sandals. If that like shows you what they look like, they're super dirty because it's so muddy, and I walked all over the place with them. It's rainy season in Hawaii right now, so lots of rain, lots of mud because of the rain, lots of like the red clay, wet, very slippery, but those definitely better than sandals because they strap onto your ankle, so they're not gonna like fall off or come off. So those were so handy. Definitely a favorite. I didn't realize that they were gonna be so useful going on the trip, but I'm really glad that I brought them with the rain and stuff. I brought waterproof mascara. This is Neutrogena Hydro Boost plumping mascara with hyaluronic acid in it, and this is waterproof. I swam with this. It did not smudge, did not come off, and I was caught in the rain with it a ton of times because it was just on and off rain, which I loved. But again, you don't want to have like mascara on it, have it like streaming down your face because of the rain. But this did not budge. The problem is it's very hard to get off. But if you do want waterproof mascara, this is a really good one. I got it in the color brown. I have it on today. It looks pretty dark even though it's brown, but really like this. And then along with that, all I really wore, because it got so humid, I kind of just embraced my natural wavy curly hair, and I would just put on mascara and sunscreen. This one's pretty beat up too. This is Zenobaji's Zeo line. It's the Daily Sheer SPF 50, and it is water resistant up to 80 minutes. I would put this and reapply it throughout the day. I got like freckles, not that you can probably see them, but I never got burnt the entire time I was there. So definitely 2 favorites. That's really all I did makeup wise, because it was you know, very humid, tropical island, lots of rain. I didn't want to have like my makeup messed up and stuff like that. So those were really the main things that I wore. This suitcase, my little away suitcase, I say little, but it's like, well, it's small for a travel size. This suitcase was a lifesaver, has my initials on it. I brought this as my carry-on, and it made traveling really, really easy because it has a what's the word, external battery that I was able to just put and pop in the suitcase and take out if I needed to. So I wasn't worried about my phone dying when traveling and taking all these different flights, because I had a lot of connecting flights. And on the way back too, when I was just waiting, it was nice to have that kind of battery pack, and just how light this suitcase is really nice. I was able to pack everything really tightly, and I just really like the layout of it, and it definitely saved me a lot of time. I was really quick with getting it up above my seat and down and everything, and rolls really easily. So really, really like that. Definitely recommend that. That was very useful when traveling. And we switched hotels once too, so just the whole process of switching hotels and taking flights and traveling, my away suitcase definitely did a good job, and I really like it. It got a little beat up, but that's expected when you travel. While I was in Hawaii, since I did start my EMT course, these are my books for my class, and I was not about to bring those with me to Hawaii. I was able to use my online textbook throughout the 2 weeks that I was there, and very convenient. I was able to take notes, take my quizzes online. So that would be a favorite. My laptop and my online, being able to just do my work on my computer was really, really nice. I didn't have to lug this heavy textbook around. And then going on off that, shopping in Kauai was really, really cool. I had friends that gave me recommendations of places to go and see, and one of them was Aloha Exchange. I have the bag because I wanted to keep it as like a memento. This was a really, really cool shop. It kind of reminded me of an Urban Outfitters, but more like eclectic surfer kind of. It was like a surf shop, but revved up. They had, you know, wetsuits and surfboards and things like that, and camping equipment, but they also had a lot of like local art, a lot of local brands, and I got a shirt from there, which I should probably show you. So this is the shirt that I have from Aloha Exchange. It just has their little branding on it. I really liked it, the sleeves as well. I just thought it was a really cool shirt. I liked the detail on it. That flower is from a tree that is endangered in Hawaii. Specifically, Kauai has a huge problem. So it kind of brings awareness to that. The locals all know. I'll put like a name of like the name of the tree and everything, but I thought that was really cool, because then I noticed it after like the store owner told me like what it was and like why they had it on their shirts and things like that. So really cool place. I wish I wanted like everything in that store. That's like how I know it was a really cool place, and I'm not a huge shopper person myself, but it was really, really cool. So thank you, Josh, for recommending it. Last 2 things I really want to talk about are, one, music. A lot of music got released in January, in the new year. Mac Miller's posthumous album called Circles came out, and I listened to that a lot coming back from Hawaii. It was a crazy, crazy good album. It sounds a lot like his older stuff, and really, really good music. I have 2 favorites. I put them on my January favorites playlist, so if you want to check that out on Spotify, I have it linked below. And then Eminem came out with his album called Music to be Murdered By, and I really, really like that album actually. It's kind of hard. There are a few songs that are hard to listen to. One is totally about the Las Vegas shooter, but he just tells so many stories in his songs. I really like that album. I listened to it like completely through, and really liked it. I also got introduced, my cousin introduced me to a German artist called Lea, L-E-A, and she has a song called Blicke, I believe is how you say it, and I think that means views, glances, and it's so catchy. It's kind of like EDM pop. I have that on my playlist as well, but I really like that song. That's like what I was listening to a lot. And then Justin Bieber's Yummy single that came out is super catchy. That's been a favorite this month too. So music wise, that's kind of what I've been listening to. A lot of rap, a lot of EDM, and then like various artists that my friends introduced me to, which has been really cool. And then going on to that, I want to finish my favorites talking about shows and things I've been watching. Leading up to the trip, I watched all of the Star Wars movies, so literally in order of like timeline. I watched every single one. The only movie I haven't seen is the one that's in theaters, and I'm planning on seeing that once it's out of theaters. But watching the whole series was so cool. Watching it in order and just being able to binge it kept me so like up to date on all the characters and the storyline and everything, which I really, really liked. And I do want to watch the Clone Wars, which is the animated cartoon series that they made a while back. I remember my sister was little and she was watching it as a kid. I also really liked this movie. I hadn't seen it. It came out in 2018 or 2019. I think it came out sometime in the last like year or two. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Post Malone did that Sunflower song for it. I really liked the songs on the movie's album, or their soundtrack, but I'd never seen the movie, and it was on Netflix. My friend recommended it, so I did see it, and it's so good. I love the animation, I love the music. I think it was just done so well. It was so good, definitely one of my favorites. I loved that movie, so if you have Netflix, definitely recommend watching it. And then the other last show that I really binge watched was Sex Education. Season 2 came out in January, and I wasn't gonna watch it actually because season 1 was alright. It wasn't like amazing. It wasn't good enough to the point where I was like, oh yeah, I definitely have to watch season 2. But then I went to a friend's birthday party and they were talking about shows and things like that, and we got on the topic of what they've been recently watching, and they said Sex Education season 2 is better than the first. And I was like, no way, that's never the case. This first season's always the best, and then it kind of progresses from there and goes downhill by like season 3 or 4, generally speaking. At least in my opinion, that's kind of how shows tend to go. They were like, no, the character development gets so good, and you really get into the characters. Season 2 is so well written, you have to check it out. So I was like, okay, I trust your judgment, I'm gonna try it. I watched the first episode and I was like hooked. It's so good. Season 2 is actually better than season 1, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But if you haven't seen it, it's kind of a coming of age teen British comedy drama humor show. This boy, his mom is a sex therapist, he's in high school, or like the British equivalent, and it's kind of him making his way, being like a virgin and going through the whole process of dating for the first time, having sex for the first time. And then with that is like all of his friends in school and like what they go through. But it covers so many good topics. Like they talk about assault, they talk about sexuality and fluidity and just growing up, and there is genuinely like education on sexual health and topics and things like that, and I found that very refreshing to have in a show, that just how well done it is. And I initially wanted to watch it is because the lead, his mom, the boy's mom in the show, she is in a few other Netflix shows that are really, really good. She's an amazing actress. Cannot remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll put a picture with her name on it right here. I love her as an actress, and she does such a good job in this role too. So along with that, like my favorite character in the show is Maeve. I just love how full the characters are. There's like such three-dimensionality to it, to all of them, and I highly recommend it. That was probably my favorite show I've watched, or my favorite thing I've watched this month. Whew. That's really what I've been loving this month. I'd love to hear any recommendations of products or shows or things you did that you really liked in the month of January. I hope that your New Year's been going really well. I've been really busy with my EMT course, but I'm trying to get uploads out. I want to be still posting consistently. It's just a little hard. I actually dropped and damaged my camera when I was in Hawaii. It got dropped in the ocean, and it got rained on, and it got put in my bag that was soaking wet. And for a few days the screen wouldn't turn on, and I was worried I was gonna have to take it and send it to get fixed. I'm just glad that that's not the case, but it was still really scary to say the least. And it seems to be okay now. but that was something that I had to deal with. I also dropped my phone and my charger got wet, and it was saying that it wouldn't charge because of water damage, which was really scary, but everything seems to be okay right now. So I'm gonna be doing a video on my experience and time in Hawaii, like day to day. I really wanted to do a whole video dedicated to that trip just because it was such a cool and amazing experience, and I really loved it there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, follow me on social media. I have everything linked below. If you want to support me on Patreon, much appreciated. And yeah, let me know what you've loved this month. I really love reading comments, and I do read every single one. I do respond to every single one. So yeah, like it if you liked it, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.